Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you by St. Luke's On Demand Virtual Care, which allows patients to see a provider from their home using a computer or smartphone with on demand care for common ailments such as a cough, sore throat, or a sinus issue. More information at stlukesonline.org. Before today's episode, an important message. The White House has asked Congress to rescind funding that was already approved for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. That funding supports trusted, independent journalism like the interview you're about to hear. Without it, Idaho Matters could face serious cuts. Learn how you can help protect public media at boisestatepublicradio.org/funding. More Idaho Matters now from the studios of Boise State Public Radio News. I'm Gemma Gaudette. As gardens and fields sprout in the summer months, have you ever wondered where the seeds originate from? A seed circus is traveling through Idaho to give you all the answers. That's right, school is in session, and whether you're a home gardener or a professional farmer, the Snake River Seed Cooperative is hosting seed schools. They're giving attendees hands-on experience and education about seed production. And joining us now to talk more is Casey O'Leary, Seed Circus organizer and Snake River Seed Cooperative general manager. Welcome to the show, Casey.
Hi, thanks so much.
So before we jump in, can you talk to us about what the Traveling Seed Circus and Seed Schools program is?
Yeah, we are so lucky that we got some grant money from the USDA's Transitioning to Organics Partnership Program to travel around the state and offer field days at some of our organic producers' farms all over. And then also to follow those up with 2-day seed schools where we teach people the basics of how to produce high quality seed organically on their home gardens or on their small farms or large farms.
And the Snake River Seed Cooperative is putting this upcoming show on, right? Putting this show on the road. What inspired the co-op to launch these seed schools?
Yeah, it's a huge part of our mission to bring more people into reclaiming the vital art of seed saving. Both is something that farms always have done. It's always been something that's done on farms, and in the last 100 years or so, that has gone by the wayside. A lot of farms import all their seeds from out of the country generally, or certainly from off farm. So part of our mission is just to get more people practicing this art and learning more about how to do it, and then bringing us together in real life. That's a big part of this, is to bring us together. We've been noticing that in our circles, people are really lonely right now. We're really isolated, and we want connection with each other. And we're also freaking out about some of the stuff that's going on in the world. And what we wanted to do is just give people places to come together and do that. I just got done with our first stop on the tour, which was in Salmon, Idaho. We were there last weekend, and we did a field day at Swift River Farm, and then we did a plant-themed open mic at Brandon Follett's backyard. And through both of those things, it was just it was imaginative, it was innovative, it was nourishing, it was creative, and it just reminded me how important it is to gather in these ways.
And it's my understanding, Casey, that you received a special grant to help make this program happen. Can you talk to us about this and why grants like this are so important?
Yeah, for sure. We did the USDA's Transitioning to Organics Partnership Program is the grant that we got, and this, along with a lot of other grants, federal grants, are the way that small and regional food systems can compete in any sort of way with the larger scale industrial agricultural system, which is subsidized by US taxpayers. So being able to have these grant funds to infuse these organizations and these communities with doing this kind of work is really crucial. And as we all know, this is something that is really fragile and tenuous right now. So we're extremely grateful that this funding for this program, at least so far, is holding, and we intend to make the most of it while we can.
So seed supplies have really changed, I mean, quite drastically in the last 100 years. I know you mentioned this in the start of our conversation, Casey, but my understanding is that farms used to mostly save their own seed. But nearly all the seeds now are trucked in from other, off farm mass producers. I mean, you mentioned even out of the country. So can you talk to us about this transition that's in and the impact that it's had on farming?
Yeah, I mean it impacts every farm differently, but I know producers who grow seeds. The Treasure Valley is a very large seed producing region for much of the rest of the world. And a lot of the folks who grow seeds for this globalized industrial marketplace, they don't even know what exact varieties they're growing. So they don't even
Hmm.
they get say a bean, and they get a number, and they're growing bean 6724 or whatever. They don't even know what the name of this bean is because it's owned by a seed company who has the rights to those seeds. The farmers can't save any back for themselves. A lot of the seeds are patented, so a lot of folks, it's actually illegal to replant a lot of the seeds that are being sold, grown and sold in this industrial model. So it's really resulted in a loss of autonomy and independence, which is something that is a value that a lot of farmers hold near and dear. Um, but farmers more than anyone probably realize how completely beholden to the industrial system
Mm.
that they have become over the years. So there's a large movement of folks who are trying to kind of rethink the way that they farm, and looking toward different markets for their crops. A lot of folks are looking toward local markets, or at the very least domestic markets, as the industrial landscape is changing. A lot of the tariffs
Hmm.
conversations and things like that um, are really um, are really making a lot of farmers scared of what their pricing is going to look like. So a lot of folks are looking for more domestic markets, and a lot of folks are just looking to feed their own communities at this point, to reconnect with the eaters of their food. So the seed is a big part of that. We need re-regionalization with every part of the local foods, or of the food system, from the seeds all the way through the crops and the markets and all of that. And there's people working all along that chain. We just so happen to be plugging into the seed portion of that.
So how is the co-op working then to help rebuild Idaho's regional seed infrastructure?
Yeah, we're a group at this point. So we are a legal cooperative. It's a very rare thing in Idaho. Very we are definitely the only business in Idaho who has our model, and one of the only ones in the country. We are a producer and worker owned cooperative. So we have 17 owners, and we work with 30 or so actual farmers. So 17 of us are owners, and we have 30 growers, and we have 5 employees, six, I guess, if you count me. And so between all of us, many of us are owners, and then we work together to steward about 400 varieties of seeds for that are adapting in real time to our area.
It's no secret that and you mentioned tariffs, but I mean really trade wars. They are ongoing, and they're impacting the global markets, and it's making the global markets more uncertain. So, in your opinion, why is it important to really increase this regional seed sovereignty, right, and improve self sufficiency in farming?
Yeah, I mean, I think so many of us are just feeling like so much of what is happening right now is out of our control. Um, we're scared. We're watching things that, systems we thought we could rely on kind of crumble around us. And in those times, a lot of us do look toward independence in some way. And I think, I want to be very careful in saying that we are not advocating for independence by any means. We are advocating for regional interdependence. We are looking for um, strengthening our connections with each other, strengthening our networks. And when we say with each other, we don't just mean with other humans, we mean with the ecosystems that we are farming in. We mean with all the other critters that share those ecosystems with us, with all of the plants and the seeds that we steward, with the wildlife, with the water that passes. I mean, this same water is going to pass through my fields, is pass through the my neighbors' fields downstream. And so we're very conscious about um, wanting to wanting to rebuild an interdependent network within our region.
So, focusing on the event ahead, it does sound like a really hands-on school. What are some activities attendees have to look forward to?
Yeah. Oh man, it's going to be so fun. I don't know if we'll be able to pull together another plant themed open mic, but man, this last one was so fun that I really think we ought to try. But let's see. So we'll be doing things like attendees will have a chance to get hands-on practice with threshing and winnowing dry seeds. We'll be able to do some seed dissections and flower dissections to learn more about the parts of a seed, the parts of a flower. We're going to tour a bunch of different infrastructure. I mean, depending on, so every place we're going is totally different because every place in the state is different. And so as we move into different regions, we're going to be visiting, everything from like millers, foundation seeds. So a lot of the public seed infrastructure, the germplasm repositories and the extension centers and these things that we all pay for through our taxpayer money that have real value to all of us. We're going to visit some of those places. We're going to learn about native seed production. So native plants and native seed production. There's a huge untapped market for that. We're going to visit small scale farms where they're doing diversified seed production and vegetable production. We're going to visit breweries and places that use seeds to make other, bread and beer and all of those kinds of things. So seeds are foundational to everything that we eat, or to our food system. And so we're going to try to take us along as many different uh, kind of stops along those chains as we can. And then yeah, well, everything from how to save seeds on your own in your own garden and farm to how to add seed production to a market farm that you might be running. So if you're currently selling something else and you haven't tried seeds yet, what are your options there? Bigger picture stuff. What's the seed industry look like? Let's see. A good stat is that over 75% of the world's seed is in the hands of three multinational corporations.
Oh,
So
wow.
just like kind of putting all of this into perspective and really
Hmm.
bringing it, grounding it, literally rooting it in the earth. Like we always like to say at Snake River Seeds that we are selling grounded hope. That's what we're building here is actual, truly rooted solutions to some of these large scale problems we face, like climate change.
So, Casey, before I let you go, I know that you've already had your first traveling circus tour stop in Salmon. When and where are the next field days and seed schools?
Yeah, so next one will be here in the Treasure Valley. It's June 28th through the 30th. And then we're going to head to the Magic Valley next. We'll be in the Magic Valley July 6th through the 8th. And then we're heading to the Panhandle in August, August 10th through the 12th. And then we'll head to the Palouse, August 17th through the 19th.
Okay, and I don't have to be a farmer, right? I can just be just an average
You,
person who shows up at
you,
this.
you can be a home gardener, and or you can be a farmer, or you can be an interested it's yeah, you can be any interested person. I would say the field days especially are going to be fascinating for people who aren't farmers, because if you've never gotten the chance to visit a working seed farm, it's fascinating. I mean, if you've never been able to understand like how a cabbage might make a seed or a carrot or something like that, so these common vegetables, it's such a completely different world. So yeah, absolutely, anybody's welcome.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time to talk to us today. We've been chatting with Casey O'Leary, Seed Circus Organizer and SRSC General Manager, talking about the co op's Traveling Seed School. You can find more information about that summer program. Just go to our website, boisestatepublicradio.org. And that'll do it for this episode of Idaho Matters. Thanks so much for listening. And just a reminder, you can find all of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
Planet Money helps you understand the economy. We find the people at the center of the story.
Garbage in New York, that was like a controlled substance.
We show you how money influences everything.
Tell me what you like by telling me how you spend your money.
And we dig until we get answers.
I had a bad feeling you were going to bring that up.
Planet Money finds out. All you have to do is listen. The Planet Money Podcast from NPR.